Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world. I'm Dan Marty, along with
MJ in the house, otherwise known as that rocker Marty Jannetty.
wrestling fans, wrestling insiders. Party with Marty is next.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to the premiere of Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. What a hell of an introduction. We didn't think it was going to go quite that long. I think that's an indication of how much fun we're going to have on this series. Again, as we noted, we hope Marty's going to be back not only throughout the summer, but back in September with us as well. And then we'll see where it goes from there. It's all up to you guys. If you guys support the show, on a premiere episode like this, we have the Super Chat going and that little gray box below where everybody's typing and talking back and forth. We've got great merchandise on eBay. We got the Patreon. We got so many different ways you can support our mission of trying to help keep professional wrestling legends working. Life for a lot of the veterans, the greats of this sport, is tough, even in the best of times. With coronavirus, you look at Tony Atlas. Last June, his wife suffered a stroke, obviously lost her job. She's been in the hospital now for 14 months. You add coronavirus into that, Tony's lost his job not only for his various wrestling matches, his wrestling appearances, but he also lost his job as a personal trainer. So imagine just that one individual, the avalanche that's hit his life. And it's hit all of them, Marty. You know, it's tough for the guys that don't have those six-figure contracts.
Yeah, there's a lot of them there, too.
But we want to keep the guys working. That's what this show is about. We have Wrestling Insiders at your house, Atlas Your House, as we call it, up in Auburn, Maine, Tuesday nights at 9. We want Marty to be maybe a Thursday night institution. We're going to have a lot of fun. But Marty, right now the fans have been clamoring for this. Most fans will remember that are astute that you guys first came onto the scene on WWF television in the summer of 1988. But those that dive a little deeper into the history...
Well, actually, it was 87. But
that was it. No, that's what we were going to go to. 1987, the night after the Honky Tonk Man defeated Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for the Intercontinental title. Not the Rockers, but the Midnight Rockers competed in upstate New York at I think it was a wrestling challenge.
Did they call us Midnight Rockers when we first?
In '87, they did. Yeah, you weren't just the Rockers at that point.
I wonder how they got around that, because I think Byrne, you know, AWA, I thought they trademarked it, because we eventually, the second time in, we had to change the name, but the first time in, we come in, man. Can we tell about it?
Sure.
1987.
Now, so you were the tag champions, I think, in AWA.
Yes, we were. Well,
so who reached out to you?
And that's what happened. This is what happened with that. You know, AWA was kind of cool. You didn't work as much.
All big cities.
Yeah, and yeah, they had like a little circuit. We did L.A., San Francisco, Denver, Salt Lake,
Chicago,
Baltimore, Chicago,
Vegas.
Vegas was our TV taping every third week. Yep. Man, all that spit just come out of my mouth.
So you should see Tony eating fried chicken.
Cover myself.
When Tony has the KFC, it's like the back end of a lawnmower.
But man, I just saw a couple like golf balls come out. But AWA was cool, and that's where we did our TV tapings, Vegas. So every third week.
Oh my! That in the '80s, that must have been something.
Oh man, you can't imagine. You put a bunch of crazy wrestlers in Vegas for a weekend, all together.
The good old days.
John Nord was the funniest man. He loved to gamble.
Oh, did he?
We all did. You know, we all did. Hell, Greg Gagne taught us how to card count, which is illegal.
Really?
Yeah. But your odds are so good on the blackjack table. But old Nord, man, he would. If we made $500 that weekend, because it was, you know, to pay there with AWA, like I said, there was TV taping too. They never pay as much because they got paid for production and stuff. If we made 500, Nord spent 1,000.
Wow.
and he would. This was back in '86, so you know that's still now that imagine what that much would be. But yeah, man, it was one time I remember. And we never went to sleep in Vegas. It's like New York City, the town that don't sleep. And you got rockers in that town, Midnight Rockers? Yeah, we ain't going to sleep.
In the 80s still, yeah.
Yeah. And But we always, it was funny when Van Vader, I was just looking at him, made me think of this.
Oh, Leon sat in that seat?
Did he?
Yeah.
Love him, man. Rest in peace, my brother. But he was Leon Baby Bull White.
The Baby Bull.
Yeah, and they wanted him to be a babyface character type of babyface. Cause it was so funny because he's got that high pitched voice. Bull power. How you doing, Larry Nelson? He'd go like that big, like a bull, and then that high pitched voice. But he, when he started up, he was a bad boy. You know, he played in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
I think it was the Rams.
The LA Rams, yeah. Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he, man, if he hadn't blown his knee out, they said he was good there. But he, anyway, everybody told him when he went to Vegas, he's like, what does everybody do? Everybody was Kurt and Scott Hall and all the party guys were like, get up with the Rockers, get up with they can call us Rockers in, even though we were the Midnight Rockers, short term it. And we'll explain that later why. With WWF. But old Vader, he wouldn't know what to do. And told him, hang out with the Rockers, and there's just always something good happening. And so, man, we did party. We'd been on the road and the AWA didn't tour like WWF at the time.
Much more relaxed schedule.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah,
Nick
you might
Bockwinkel never wanted the NWA title, because of the travel compared to what he would have had to have done as the NWA champion, as opposed to the AWA schedule, which was what, maybe not even half the month.
Yeah, 15 days of
that's a
15 days of
great schedule.
Yeah, man, you're relaxed and you're doing good. I mean, you ain't gonna make the money if you was working 30 days, but you ain't beat up as bad.
Yeah.
And you get time to spend it.
Quality of life.
Yeah, and man, so we were in Vegas in that particular week. We had just done Salt Lake City, Denver, San Francisco, and then it come up time for TV taping. So it ran. And those were during the week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Shawn and I guess I can tell this, Shawn, because you weren't married at the time. We were out every night, partying Tuesday night, partying Wednesday night, partied hard Thursday night. Flying to Vegas, now it's Friday, now it's the weekend. And we're like burnt out. And it's like, you got to. We're like, Shawn was like, let's just take an hour nap about around 7 o'clock tonight, so we'll make it through the. But so old Vader, we were like, really, really like, kind of. I think this is when we first started for AWA, because we were trying to find a name.
Yep.
We tagged with Vern Gagne. Jesus Christ, guys, we got to find you a good name. And he's, we're like, we'll think of one, we'll think of something. And Vader, we're like this. We're in Vegas, it's about 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock. And we went to get something to eat first and then go, hit the strip. And we're like this. And Vader was like, he's looking at Kurt and he goes, thought you said these guys are partiers. And Kurt says, oh, it ain't midnight yet. Wait till it's midnight. They don't start till midnight. Which tied into the name because right about the time he said that, they had to blare some music in the place where, and you hear this, living after midnight, rocking till the dawn, Judas Priest.
Yeah.
And Kurt and I looked at each other and we all looked.
Click.
They started at midnight and there was our music. That's just how it happened.
Wow.
We became the Midnight Rockers, and that was our theme song that we come out to the ring. Of course, I love Shawn to death. Of course, he took claim for that. He goes, I just thought it'd be a good, I had that tape, back to the cassette.
Yeah.
I had that tape, and I thought that would be a great song for us. No, that's not how it happened. And how do you, it's one thing if you don't remember shit, but how do you remember shit that didn't happen?
That's being very creative. Yeah.
But so yeah, man, that was the start of the Midnight Rockers there.
So you guys were in a really good spot in the AWA. What happened in probably the spring of '87? Who reached out to you, and how did that all come to be?
Well, so we were the tag team champions. Now, and again, this was an issue where it was like WWE. We're watching. We're not blind. We see WWF is growing, and everybody's leaving AWA going there. When we first got there, It was, you know, I came out of Central States, Kansas City. I lived in there, and we did nice arenas. You know, we went to Monday night was always Wichita, Kansas. Tuesday night was Topeka, Kansas. Wednesday was Lincoln, Nebraska. This was every night of the week. Every night, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Thursday was Des Moines, Iowa. Friday would be what we call a spot show, a small town near St. Louis. In St. Louis on Saturday, and Sunday we would have off. So we were traveling 6 days, you know, in smaller territory. But those places were pretty. But I'd say the arenas were half full. You know,
It was a
decent-sized
dying
arenas.
territory, though, at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the end, like the last of the territories. But so then when it came time, AWA got in touch with me and said, "Would you be interested in coming here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." I mean, I was happy where I was at.
Yeah.
But then he told me they mentioned some numbers, and I'm like, actually, what drew me more was the cities they went to. They said, you know, you'll wrestle here. So I'm a little small town boy. For me, going to Lincoln, Nebraska, Des Moines, Iowa, and Wichita, oh wow, this is cool. Now I'm going to go to L.A., now Chicago, Baltimore. If I'm with them, that's what lured me the most to go. And you know, and that was good. They were good to me. A Central States thing, All-Star Wrestling it was called. They were good to me. Harley Race and Bob Geigel ran it. And both
But
of
even
them,
Holly bolted out of his own territory to go to
Yeah.
WWF. So
I'll tell you-
if
I'll
that
tell
isn't
you
a sign
something.
of the times with Central States, I don't know what is. The owner left.
You know what? I'm going to jump around here because I got to tell this. I'll forget
All right.
it. It was so funny because Harley, all of his interviews for his company, you know, when we do interviews and stuff, I am the 7 times real world champion, not that Hollywood fake shit over there. All the time. We're just saying that Hulk Hogan crap. I am the 7 times real world champion. And you know, when he would talk to us, you were like, what would you do if they called, Harley? Fuck them, I don't do that plastic stuff. They called him and he's gone.
Bye-bye.
They called him. And you know what? A lot of people don't know about this. WWE was good. WWF was good about ribbing people. We called it ribbing on the square, which means you're joking, but the square part being it's based off something real. It's ribbing on the square. Harley was calling himself, I am the real king of wrestling. You know? He went in there, and guess what they did to him? Because they heard all those interviews.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They put a big 25-pound bucket crown on his fucking head that he couldn't stand because he looks like a goofball. I mean, here he's a badass. You know,
Badass man.
Yes,
Yeah.
and make them believe it's real, old school type thing, raw bone tough. And you gonna put a fucking crown on him? And then he said, you know, it don't look right. They made him put a strap.
The strap, too, yeah,
His
so it
face
wouldn't fall
kind of
off.
like, and he pulled his face almost would go out. It wouldn't. It just gave the appearance. But they made him wear that strap. Now he looks horrible in it. And he did it. I wouldn't do none of that Hollywood. You know, and so you know what was funny, too? When Shawn and I first got called in there to WWF.
Now, this is 87 we're talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Harley, there was that TV. That was our first day in. And they're sitting around catering, you know, eating. And I knew Harley well. Right? And you know, he'd been real good to me. He got me in Japan my rookie year, which at that time, no rookie had ever went to Japan. That was a big deal. And it was because of him. You know, he took me with him. He kind of liked me, took me under his wing, and that was a good man to learn from.
Absolutely.
But so I had me and Shawn sat there with him. Sorry we're jumping around.
That's okay.
Am I talking too much?
We want you to talk. Imagine the two of us sitting here for an hour and just shrugging our shoulders.
You know what's horrible on my Facebook, which y'all can go to sometime.
We'll put the link in the program itself so they can
Okay.
reach out to you on Facebook
If
and Twitter.
y'all will see, I get carried away. Talking is so much easier. I have to write all that shit on Facebook, and I meant to tell like something to take 2 sentences. It ends up being a damn paragraph this long. Nobody gonna read it.
Those are long posts sometimes when you, want to
You see
tell a
them?
story. Oh, yeah, I do.
But so we're sitting with Harley at the thing, and I said, Harley, how you like it here? How you like it here? He goes, let me tell you something, Daddy. He says, we did the Madison Square Garden fastest sellout ever. Me and Hulk Hogan sold it out in record time. And
That feud did huge business.
They
did back to back in Boston in May and June of '87. That was a big.
Really?
They did big money, big money.
But here, and this is so Harley. He goes, we sold it out that fast, and it wasn't because they came to see him. He had been there before.
Well, Holly, don't pat yourself on the back too hard, Barry
he
Horowitz.
Had been there before. But back to AWA, man, it's just to try to shorten it.
Yeah, so you had the belts. You're in a really good spot. So who called you from WWF?
It became an issue
Okay.
of money again. But
all
this time it was similar to. Oh, let me tell you about. So when AWA called me, to come up there, and I saw you, I knew if I'm hitting these big ass cities, and I'm looking like who they got. They got the Road Warriors. They got the Freebirds. We got Art Cruz. I love you, Art. I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying the names didn't have the value.
Oh, no, it was a dying territory. Yeah.
And so I told Bob Gallagher, I said, look, I got an offer to go up there. You can't even do that now. Or when WCW was around, you couldn't approach the guy on the contract.
Yeah, it's like Major League Sports. Yeah.
And so this is good stuff. What's his name?
John Cena Sr.
No one I knew that, but the name of this.
Fabo Pop.
Fabo Pop. This is good stuff. You already tried it.
Yeah. Delicious.
Yep, it is good. Man, I got to come up with something like that.
Yeah. Party with Marty,
I
baby.
might have to put vodka in it.
Well, that's all right. We wouldn't do that. Only
No,
after hours.
I was thinking about the marketing. I get a bottle and put it on there. This and call it. This may not be vodka. But AWA.
So it was a money issue.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I told Geigel, that's the thing, man. Thank you. I've loved it here. I love y'all. I want to go there. Now, this is the learning part because they pay you by the shows. If you made $100 in Wichita, Topeka never really paid good. You get $70. Lincoln might have been 80 or 90. St. Louis was always a good one. You get a couple hundred. But so, first paycheck I got from them was $400, and I was in heaven because I had been driving a tractor trailer truck that summer, right after I got hurt with my shoulder in football in college. So, or what the hell was one? Whatever had happened, I was driving the truck for the summer just to make some money. But I actually, believe it or not, I love driving a tractor trailer truck. I wasn't crazy about moving today. It was for North American, this damn plug. The furniture moving, man. You drive for 8 hours to somewhere, then you got to get out and unload all that shit. And then go maybe to a warehouse and load some more shit so you don't bobtail home broke. But anyway, when I don't know, I made $300 a week maybe doing that. 5 days a week, Wrestling was like fun. Now I'm doing something, and I made the first paycheck I think it was $450. I still got it. And man, I'm in heaven. I'm like, I got paid for what I just did. Oh, yeah. And the paychecks always were around that, $450 to $550.
Now, this is AWA or
Central States.
Oh, Central States.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because this is where you learned a little bit of business shit. When I told Bob I was going to go, he says, I wish you'd stay. How about this? What if we give you a guarantee of $750 a week? I'm thinking, well, why couldn't you have done that the whole damn time? But I'm thinking like, I see how to do it now. Okay, you got to threaten to not threaten. Hey, I can go here, and then your money comes up. You know what Tito Santana told me one time. Because he's a teacher.
Yeah.
He don't need to. Now we're
He does very well. Yeah.
But he said, Marty, the best money you're ever going to make in the business is when you don't need them.
Yeah.
Because when you don't need them, you can say, nah, and the money goes up. They start paying you more. But I kind of learned that right there in the Central States. And so that lured, that went to AWA. And the whole way Shawn and I got together, kind of remembers this incorrectly too. They had actually, I was in his singles. I was, Shawn had already tagged one time in Central States. He came through for probably a couple months stint. And somebody couldn't make the show, Mike George or somebody. And so they had a filler match real quick, and they threw Shawn and I together. Yeah, I forgot who we worked with. Might have been not Jefferson Starship, something Starship. It was Danny Spivey and Scott Hall.
Oh, okay.
American Starship, I think they were called. Man, they were big boys. One's 6'7", the other's 6'9".
Yeah.
Both built up. Here we are. We're like, what the hell? But we went in and had a match that we couldn't believe. Sometimes the chemistry's right. You can't teach that.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what I was telling you.
You can't book
about
chemistry sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, as Kevin Nash one time said, you can't teach cool. And that's trying to,
That's exactly right, though.
true thing.
Yeah.
And even though he needs to remember that, Big Daddy Cool, love you, bro. But anyway, we had something that clicked during that match. We even said so in the back. It was like, because when he was in the ring wrestling, and I'd be watching, and I'm like, man, if he would just do this now, and then he would do it. I'm like, God dang. And he said the same thing when he was watching, like, well, if he would do, and then I would do it.
So even a young Shawn Michaels kind of was critiquing what you were doing?
Well, during the match I'm talking about, like when he's on the outside watching.
Oh, this is when you were teaming together?
Yeah, the first time we ever
gotcha,
teamed.
I gotcha.
We were reading each other's minds.
Oh,
In
good.
other words, we became a one. And that's, again, something you can't hardly teach. Because I've tried it at my schools, and you just can't teach that either. It happens or it don't. And we knew something right when we came out. We were like, did you feel something? And I said, yes, I did. And we told each other, like, every time I think what you should do in that situation, you did it. And I said, that's what I was doing. When I was outside waiting to get tagged, I was like, he should do this. And he would do it like exact. So it was like, there was something there from that. And that was a throw together, and it was a one-time thing.
So you went to AWA together,
So went to
the two of you
AWA,
as a team?
and they wrestled singles, did pretty good the first couple of months by myself. And then,
Oh, you did singles in AWA initially? Okay.
Started, that's how
Okay.
it started. Might have to go to the
Shawn
bathroom.
wasn't
You got a
there?
bathroom in here?
What's that?
You got a bathroom around?
We're not in the physical studio, but we can take a time out once we reach the end of the segment. All right.
We're just saying, because I was just thinking about that, like, do I just turn right here and go, or what? And I already got this bad hair. You got
Well,
a
we have
hat?
Cecil the Lion in the other room. He was actually pet by one of the superstars in the.
He was what? What
He was
happened?
pet.
He was a
There
pet?
was homosexual petting going on in the outside the studio after one of the tapings.
Oh, man, I don't
We'll
need
have
to
to
know
talk-
about this.
Poor Cecil was pet like he belonged in a zoo, but that's all right. Well, that's another story for another time.
Yeah, yeah. Let me put this on now.
Oh, all right, Marty. We really got to try and circle back here. I don't want to go too.
Okay, where were we?
We
Oh,
can
so-
do great AWA episodes as our series goes on, but it's 1987. You had a great run in AWA. I'm going to guess you weren't maybe making as much as you would have liked or thought you could have made in
It
WWF.
was okay because, like we
Who
said,
contacted you in the spring of '87? Vince, Patterson.
actually, all right. So,
Terry
so
Garvin?
we back up. Can y'all hear me through this?
They don't want to
The
do
camera,
that too
camera's
much.
doing this.
I think they're more than 6 feet away.
Oh, I can tell.
All right. Are we though? We're about 2 arms lengths away. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're about 6 feet. Like the Bash Brothers. Okay.
Yeah. But so Terry Garvin.
Oh, all right.
Terry Garvin was he was the booker for Kansas City when I was going through there. For
Oh,
Central
Terry
States.
Garvin? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So he loved to rib,
Uh-huh.
and so we would rib. We would
He
play
loved
jokes.
more than that, but he liked that.
Yeah, I didn't go that route. And the thing was, he never pushed on it, because we hung out and he
Yeah.
respected it, I don't even think he ever even got drunk and one day said, "Hey, Marty, let me do
fellatio.
something."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little fellatio.
I don't think he ever even did that. When he respected that, I was fine with how his lifestyle, and this is mine though. They just don't cross.
Yeah.
That's all. And he respected that. So we got on great, and we'd have so much fun together, ribbing people and playing jokes and stuff. He would like to say, "Hey, Marty, tell him it's going to be a lights out smash during your match tonight." I'm like, "It ain't though." He goes, "Just tell him." So when I get introduced to the ring, I'm saying, And this match is going to be a lights out match. He's specked by the power box and he cuts it off. The whole place goes black, and I'm sitting there like, God damn it. And he didn't turn it back on. You couldn't see shit. It was pitch black. I think it was a guy named T.G. Stone across the ring. He goes, where are you? Should I jump you? What should we do? But anyway, so Terry Garvin ended up going
WWF.
Yeah, and he was like third man on the list. It was Vince, Pat Patterson, and him. So I had that. And AWA started getting funky with us because we were two young punks. That was the first thing that pissed off Vern. He didn't like a couple young guys getting over. And again, I love you, Shawn, but you know this, and everybody knows it. Shawn was real young. He's like 4 or 5 years younger than me. And at that time, I think he was like 20. I don't even think
he was born in 65.
He was in 21 because they couldn't get in the clubs at first.
Yeah.
We'd have to sneak beer down to him. We didn't have no fake ID.
Yeah, he's July 65, so yeah, he wouldn't have been 20. Yeah.
Happy birthday. I missed it. Sorry about that. Yeah, because it was last week, I think, the 23rd, maybe, I ain't sure. But, yeah, man, I remember we'd go to the clubs in St. Louis. Shawn had to wait outside because we had no way of sneaking him in. He'd be yelling at him, oh, goddamn, I'm a wrestler. I can't fucking get in. I can wrestle, but I can't get in a fucking club. No. You ain't got an ID. He had an ID, but, you know, he couldn't show it. So when you get in there, and I'd get a couple beers and go out and hand them to him out in the parking lot. So at least he was drinking, and he'd see the girls. Well, wait a minute. He'd see people coming in and out. So I got to be careful with stories. You know, people coming in. So he was having a little party outside waiting. What got bad when he finished his beer, and I'd be up there and already like sitting around a table full of ladies, and I forgot I need to go take him a beer. I mean, oh shit, hold on.
Sorry, yeah.
But anyway, so they got funky on us. They didn't. He was being Shawn at that time. He was a different Shawn then. And so they started fucking with us, beating us with ridiculous people, and you know, we're there to do a business, but I mean, there's something going on here. Why are you letting these guys that will never be here anymore beat us? And then also the pay started. The house was the same, but the pay was going down and down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know they panicked because WWE was taking off. But when we first got there, when I first got there. That was a cool thing to see, too. When we went from half-full arena, from half-full arenas, we get there in the Freebirds or in the Road Warriors, the main events, and oh, my God, the matches. But everything was sold out. All the arenas were sold out everywhere we went. Then the Road Warriors left. And then you go around to the houses, and they're half. They're big-ass arenas, but they're half. And then the Freebirds left, and now we're down to like a skeleton crew. Come on out and wrestle. And that's about when Shawn come in. But they had called me. They had actually asked me, like, we want to make a tag team. And is there anybody you think you got good chemistry with? I said, yeah, this guy, Shawn Michaels. And they said, yeah, we've heard of him. We know about him. You like him? I said, well, we've had a hell of a match together before. So they called him in, and that's the Midnight Rockers. We did so good, we went up to the top. As far as it was, you can go. You can only go as far as that pencil lets you.
Right.
And they got tired of the cockiness. I used to cut up a lot and play, so they wanted me to chill on the play and cut ribbon and all that. And then your partner is just arrogant as shit, and they really just didn't like that. So the two of us together.
From a really, really young guy.
Yeah.
Really young.
21 years old. I think he might have been 21 time he got there. But, yeah, they just got tired. They started doing stuff, so I called
So even though you were you called Terry Garvin?
Yeah, I called Terry Garvin. Remember now, Shawn says in his book, Marty handled all the business.
Right.
And I actually did till we got so far. And then when it was time to split off, all of a sudden he's the one that took all the business. But I mean, it never had. We got to take a break. I got to run.
All right, so if you want to find out, fans, what happened with Terry Garvin, how the Rockers came into Midnight Rockers came in '87 for one night, stay tuned. We'll be back after this brief timeout.
Wrestling fans, that does it for another no-holds-barred episode of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty. Please give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so we can keep growing and bringing you more great wrestling content. We'll be back Tuesday night at 9 p.m. with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas for Wrestling Insiders at your house. And Marty is back each and every Thursday at 9 p.m. for his no-holds-barred look at the sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle of 80s and 90s professional wrestling. If you want ad-free, early access to Wrestling Insiders, if you want to stream dozens of studio shoot interview DVDs with some of wrestling's greatest legends, all while helping keep wrestling legends working, it's simple. Head on over to that Patreon, patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Until we speak again, you and yours be well, stay healthy.